with me for a moment. We're going to travel to an ancient city, a place of Gothic towers and winding cobblestone alleys, a place where a certain kind of magic still hangs in the air. We're about to dive into one of the most mysterious and fascinating legends in all of European folklore.
So find a comfortable spot, settle in, take a nice deep breath, because we're about to step right into the heart of the story of the Golem of Prague. We'll explore the incredible questions it raises about creation, about power, and about control. I want you to picture Prague, but way back in the 16th century. Can you see it? The famous Charles Bridge is just wrapped in this soft, rolling fog, and the very air feels thick with secrets and centuries of history. We're walking through the old Jewish ghetto now. It's a place buzzing with stories, with deep spirituality, and with this quiet, constant feeling, a need for safety. It's right here that our legend begins to unfold. You have to understand, this was a really difficult time. The Jewish community was facing terrible persecution, all sorts of unfair accusations. There was this growing sense of danger just outside their walls. And that deep, profound need for a hero, well, that's the very soil our legend grows from. Now, living right in the heart of this community was a man named Rabbi Judah Lo Ben Bazal. He was a deeply respected scholar, known for his incredible wisdom, but also for his knowledge of mysticism. He saw the fear in his people's eyes, and he decided he had to do something. So, as the story goes, Rabbi Lo decided to create a guardian, a powerful protector who could watch over his community when no one else would. He wasn't going to wait for a hero, he was going to build one right from the earth itself. And this is where it gets really amazing. This wasn't some kind of science experiment. It was a sacred, mystical ritual. The rabbi and his disciples, they went to the riverbank and gathered clay, carefully molding it into the shape of a huge, powerful man. Okay, so here's the crucial part. After chanting ancient verses from the Kabbalah, the rabbi took a small piece of parchment and placed it in the creature's mouth. And on that parchment was just one single Hebrew word, emet, which means truth. Think about that for a second. The idea that a being could be brought to life not by a soul, but by a concept, by pure truth. And with that one word, the clay figure slowly opened its eyes. And just like that, the golem was alive. It was immense, incredibly powerful, with this completely blank expression, and it only followed the commands of its creator. Its mission was simple, and it was absolute. It became this silent, sleepless sentinel. It would patrol the darkest alleys, stopping attacks before they could happen, protecting the innocent. For the first time in what felt like forever, the people of the ghetto could breathe a little easier, feeling like this mighty presence was walking with them in the shadows. But this incredible creation, it had a fatal flaw. It was a creature born of a single word, of pure logic. It had no way of understanding the messy, complicated nuances of human life. You know, it's kind of like an ancient warning about artificial intelligence. What happens when a creation has all the power, but none of the compassion? And this slide really nails the problem. The golem took every single order literally. You could tell it to go fetch water from the well, and it might just flood the entire town because no one told it when to stop. It's the ultimate story of good intentions gone wrong, a theme we see again and again centuries later in stories like Frankenstein. Rabbi Lo quickly realized the enormous burden of being a creator. The very thing he'd made to protect his people, well, it could just as easily become the greatest threat they'd ever faced. He knew he had to stop it. And so, one quiet Sabbath, the rabbi made a difficult decision. It was time to return the golem to its lifeless state, to put the gentle giant back to sleep before its incredible power could cause a tragedy. Remember that word, the one that sparked its life? The word for truth, emet, written on that little scroll? Well, that was the key. The power to create and the power to uncreate were held in the very same code. To undo the powerful magic, the rabbi did something so simple, it's almost poetic. He just erased the very first letter from the word emet. And just like that, the word for truth was transformed into met, the Hebrew word for death. With that one tiny change, the golem crumbled, becoming nothing more than a statue of lifeless clay. The legend says that its inert body was carried up to the dusty attic of the old new synagogue in Prague. And some people believe it's still there, even to this day, tucked away from the world, just waiting. And that, of course, leaves us with the big question that hangs over this whole myth. Was the golem really gone forever, or was it just put to sleep, waiting for a time when its people might need their protector to rise once again?
You see, the Golem story has lasted all these centuries because it taps into something so deep inside us. It's a symbol of our desire for protection, our longing for justice. And maybe most of all, it's about that little spark of hope we all search for when times feel dark.
Its story still echoes in those ancient streets. So as we let this legend fade, just close your eyes for a moment. Let the story settle, and let a sense of calm just wash over you.
Just let this story settle. Because it's a lovely thought, isn't it? That inside every old myth, every legend, there's always a little piece of truth about who we are, just waiting to be discovered.
Sleep well, and may your dreams be filled with wonder, watched over by the quiet legends of the night.